The universe has ways of showing you when someone isn't meant to stay in your life. It doesn't always come with big, dramatic signs. Instead, it works through the quiet discomforts you've tried to ignore, the tightness in your chest, the exhaustion you feel after they leave, or the tension that builds every time you're around them. These aren't random sensations, they're warnings. You've probably felt it before, that subtle sense that something isn't right. Maybe it's the way they make you second-guess yourself, or how your body seems to react before you can even explain why. These signals are the universe's way of guiding you, urging you to pay attention to the things your heart and mind may not want to face. When someone is not aligned with your path, the universe doesn't let it go unnoticed. It sends messages through your body, your emotions, and the energy around you. The longer you ignore these signs, the louder they get, until you're forced to confront the truth. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's about recognizing when a connection has run its course and is no longer serving your growth. Holding on might feel easier in the moment, but it comes at a cost: your peace, your energy, and your ability to move forward. In this video, we'll explore 8 clear ways the universe communicates that it's time to let go. These are more than just feelings. They're part of a bigger picture designed to protect you and guide you towards something better. You don't have to keep ignoring the signs or carrying a weight that was never meant to be yours. So ask yourself, what has your body been telling you? What emotions keep coming up around this person that you can't quite shake? These are not coincidences. They are answers, waiting for you to listen. This is your chance to understand what the universe is trying to say. It's time to honor yourself, trust the signs, and take the first step toward peace. Let's begin. Your body is always speaking to you, even when your mind refuses to listen. One of the first and clearest signs that someone isn't meant to be in your life is the physical discomfort you feel when you're around them. This isn't a coincidence or something to brush off. It's your body's way of alerting you to a deeper misalignment. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how your stomach feels tight, almost like it's in a knot when you're with someone? Or how you experience a sense of heaviness in your chest that wasn't there before? These sensations are often subtle at first, but they build over time. The more you ignore them, the louder they become, as if your body is demanding that you pay attention. The stomach, often called the second brain, is especially sensitive to the energy around you. When you're with someone who isn't aligned with your path, this part of your body often reacts first. It might feel like a vague unease, a sudden nausea, or a heaviness you can't quite explain. These feelings aren't random. They're physical manifestations of the emotional and energetic discord between you and the other person. Yet, it's easy to dismiss these signals. You might tell yourself you're overthinking, tired, or stressed. But deep down, you know when something feels wrong. Ignoring these signs doesn't make them go away. If anything, they become more persistent, showing up in other ways, like tension headaches, shallow breathing, or even fatigue after every interaction. This is the universe's way of guiding you toward awareness. It uses your body as a radar, sensing things that your conscious mind might miss. The discomfort you feel is not an inconvenience. It's a message. It's your body saying, "This is not right for you." The next time you feel this kind of unease, don't dismiss it. Take a moment to sit with it. Ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me? Reflect on how you feel before, during, and after your time with this person. If the heaviness persists, it's a sign you need to take seriously. Your body is not betraying you, it's protecting you. The more you listen, the more clarity you'll find. Don't ignore the signals. They're there for a reason. Some relationships don't weigh on your body. They weigh on your heart. Emotional tension is one of the clearest signs that someone isn't meant to stay in your life. It's the constant undercurrent of unease, a feeling that you can't fully relax or be yourself around them. This tension doesn't arrive suddenly. It builds slowly, until one day it feels like it's always been there. You notice it in how you respond to their presence. Your emotions feel heightened, but not in a way that brings joy or excitement. Instead, there's a tightness, a sense that you're holding something back. Maybe it's because you're afraid of saying the wrong thing or being misunderstood. Or perhaps it's the growing awareness that you're giving more than you're receiving. This tension often creates patterns in your mind. You find yourself overthinking after every interaction. Did I handle that right? Were they upset? Why do I feel so drained? These aren't isolated moments of doubt. They're symptoms of an emotional imbalance. Healthy relationships leave you feeling at ease, not questioning your every move. The weight of emotional tension doesn't just linger when you're with them. It follows you into the rest of your life. You replay conversations in your head, imagining what you could have done differently. You carry their moods as if they're your responsibility, adjusting yourself to avoid conflict or discomfort. Over time, this constant self-regulation chips away at your energy and self-worth. The universe speaks through this tension, showing you that this connection is not aligned with your peace. It's not punishment, it's a warning. It's asking you to consider what you're sacrificing to maintain a relationship that feels this heavy. It's easy to excuse these feelings. You tell yourself that it's normal, that relationships take effort, that maybe you're the one overreacting. But the truth is, emotional tension isn't a sign of effort, it's a sign of misalignment. And the longer you ignore it, the more it grows. Pay attention to how you feel emotionally when you're around someone. Do they bring calm or conflict? Do you feel seen and supported? Or do you feel like you're constantly navigating unspoken rules? These answers matter. Your emotional state isn't lying to you. It's offering clarity, guiding you toward a life that feels lighter and more authentic. The question is, are you ready to trust it? If you are, the next step is to notice how you feel after spending time with someone. Do they leave you feeling lighter, or do you find yourself exhausted, as if their presence took more than it gave? When the universe doesn't want someone in your life, this imbalance becomes impossible to ignore. Feeling drained after every interaction isn't just a passing mood, it's a clear sign that the connection is taking more from you than it should. You may not even notice it at first. It might feel like ordinary tiredness or stress, but as the pattern repeats, you realize it's specific to this relationship. The exhaustion builds, leaving you emotionally depleted, unmotivated, and sometimes questioning your own worth. Relationships should energize and uplift you. When they don't, it's often because the dynamic is out of alignment. Maybe this person is overly critical, constantly negative, or expects you to carry the weight of their problems. Or perhaps it's subtler. Something unspoken in their energy leaves you feeling uneasy and unsupported. Whatever the reason, your body and spirit sense the imbalance, even if your mind tries to rationalize it. The universe uses this feeling of depletion to guide you toward clarity. When you consistently feel drained after being with someone, it's a message. This connection is pulling you away from the life and energy you're meant to have. It's not about blaming them. It's about recognizing what this dynamic is costing you. Take a moment to reflect on how you feel when you're around them. Are you constantly giving without receiving? Do you feel the need to perform, please, or protect yourself emotionally? These patterns are unsustainable and often leave you with less energy to give to the things and people who truly matter. Trusting this signal isn't always easy. It might mean rethinking a relationship you've invested in deeply, but the universe doesn't want you to keep pouring from an empty cup. It's asking you to prioritize your well-being, to let go of what drains you, and to make space for connections that nourish and inspire you. Your energy is one of your most precious resources. Pay attention to how others affect it. It's the clearest way the universe reveals what belongs in your life and what doesn't. Our body never lies. When the universe tries to show you that someone isn't meant to stay in your life, one of the clearest ways it communicates is through your physical responses, especially sudden changes in your breathing or heart rate. These signals are subtle but powerful, revealing truths your mind might not yet be ready to accept. Think back to the last time you were around someone who left you feeling uneasy. Did you notice your heart beating faster? Or perhaps your breathing became shallow, as if your body instinctively braced itself for something? These reactions aren't random. They're part of your body's natural response to stress, and they often occur when your energy is being disrupted. Your heart and lungs are deeply connected to your emotional state. In safe, harmonious relationships, your breathing is steady and your heart beats calmly. But in the presence of someone who isn't aligned with your path, your body senses the imbalance. It might feel like a sudden flutter in your chest, tightness in your throat, or even the inability to take a full breath. These physical shifts are your body's way of sounding an alarm. Sometimes you might dismiss these feelings as mere anxiety or stress from other parts of your life. But when they consistently arise around the same person, it's time to pay closer attention. The universe uses these signals to highlight where your energy is being disrupted, urging you to protect your peace. This isn't about blaming someone for how your body reacts. It's about awareness. Your body is trying to guide you, to make you notice what your mind might be avoiding. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way when I'm with them? What is it about their energy or presence that triggers this reaction? Often the answer lies in the subtle dynamics of the relationship, things you might overlook consciously, but that your body instinctively detects. Learning to trust these signals is an act of self-respect. When your body speaks, it's protecting you from harm, urging you to recognize where your peace is being compromised. By listening, you give yourself permission to step away from connections that don't serve your highest good. The next time your heart races or your breath shortens in someone's presence, pause and reflect. What is your body telling you? These reactions aren't random, they're your compass, pointing you toward a path of greater alignment and peace. Not all signs from the universe show up in your body. Sometimes they reveal themselves in your mind, through confusion, indecision, and a persistent sense of doubt. When someone isn't aligned with your path, your thoughts can become clouded, making it hard to find clarity or make decisions. It's as though their presence disrupts the calm you need to think clearly. One of the most telling signs of misalignment is how your mind behaves when you're around them. Do you feel scattered, unsure of yourself, or even second-guessing your intuition? These mental patterns aren't just coincidences, they're warnings. Your mind, like your body, reacts to energy that isn't serving you. The confusion you feel is the universe's way of pointing out the misalignment. In healthy relationships, your mind feels clear and supported. Conversations flow naturally, and you're able to express yourself without hesitation. But in relationships that aren't meant to stay, this clarity fades. Instead, you may find yourself overanalyzing their words, questioning their intentions, or feeling stuck in a cycle of uncertainty. This mental fog is exhausting and keeps you from focusing on what truly matters. The challenge here is that confusion can feel normal over time. You might dismiss it as overthinking or blame yourself for not being rational enough. But the truth is, the right relationships don't leave you feeling lost. They provide a sense of stability and ease, even in difficult moments. If this clarity is absent, it's worth asking why. Pay attention to how you feel when you try to make decisions about this person or with them. Does the confusion increase? Are you constantly trying to predict their reactions or over-explaining your choices to avoid conflict? These patterns are unsustainable and often signal that the relationship is draining your mental energy. The universe doesn't create confusion to punish you. It uses it as a tool to guide you, to make you pause and reflect on what's happening beneath the surface. When your mind feels clouded, it's often because your intuition is trying to break through, urging you to recognize the truth. Trust the moments of clarity when they come. If your mind feels lighter when you're away from them, it's a sign. Confusion isn't something to endure. It's a message asking you to let go of what isn't serving your peace. Sometimes the universe doesn't push, it pulls. When someone isn't meant to stay in your life, you may find yourself naturally drawn to something else. It could be a new hobby, a different circle of people, or even just the idea of spending more time alone. These new directions don't come as distractions, they're opportunities, guiding you towards something more aligned with who you're becoming. At first, this pull might feel strange. You notice a growing curiosity about things that never caught your attention before, or you find comfort in places and experiences that have nothing to do with the person in question. It's as if the universe is quietly pointing you elsewhere, reminding you that your path is broader than what you're holding on to. Pay attention to these moments of quiet curiosity. They're not a betrayal of your current relationships. They're a signal that your growth requires something different. It's not always dramatic. You might feel a gentle urge to explore a creative passion you've neglected, or spend more time with people who energize you instead of leaving you drained. Whatever the shift, it's an invitation to rediscover what makes you feel alive. This pull toward new directions often happens when a relationship begins to overshadow your sense of self. If you've started noticing that your time and energy feel limited, or that you've lost touch with the things that once brought you joy, this attraction to the new is your soul reclaiming its freedom. The universe isn't taking anything from you. It's asking you to remember what it feels like to move toward lightness and possibility. It's natural to feel conflicted. You might wonder if exploring these new directions means letting go of something important. But growth always requires change. The connections and experiences that make us feel most alive are the ones that align with our true selves. If you're being pulled away from someone, it's not a rejection of them. It's an acceptance of yourself. The universe places these urges in your life for a reason. Follow them. They are the breadcrumbs leading you to clarity, to joy, and to a version of yourself that's no longer willing to shrink or stay stuck. Trust where you're being guided. New directions don't diminish the past. They expand your future. When you begin to follow the pull toward new directions, another truth often emerges. What you're leaving behind becomes harder to ignore. Emotional chaos tends to rise when a connection is no longer aligned with your path. It shows up as tension, unpredictability, and a sense that the relationship takes more from you than it gives. At first, it might feel manageable, an argument here, a misunderstanding there. But over time, the patterns become undeniable. Conversations spiral into conflict, even over trivial things. You start to notice that moments of peace feel fragile, as if you're constantly bracing for the next disruption. This isn't just a phase or a challenge to overcome. It's the universe showing you that the foundation of the relationship is no longer steady. This chaos doesn't only exist in the relationship itself, it spreads. You might find yourself carrying the weight of these emotional ups and downs into other areas of your life. Your patience runs thin, your focus wavers, and even small tasks feel overwhelming. The energy drain is real, and it's a signal that the emotional turbulence is costing you far more than you realize. It's natural to want to fix things, to believe that with enough effort the chaos will settle. But sometimes, no amount of effort can bring stability to a connection that isn't meant to last. The harder you try to hold on to it, the more disruptive it becomes. The universe isn't punishing you. It's trying to guide you to something better, by making it impossible to ignore the imbalance. The chaos itself is a message. It's asking you to step back and consider what peace would look like without this relationship. Imagine waking up without the tension of unresolved arguments or the anxiety of navigating someone else's unpredictable emotions. That vision of calm isn't a fantasy. It's what the universe wants for you. Emotional chaos isn't a normal part of healthy relationships. It's a sign that the connection is out of sync with your needs, your growth, and your well-being. Recognizing this truth can be difficult, but it's also freeing. By choosing to let go of what disrupts your emotional balance, you're making space for the harmony and stability you deserve. Ask yourself, is this chaos worth holding on to? The answer often reveals more than you expect. After navigating emotional chaos, there's often one final truth waiting for you. Deep down, you've known all along. Amid the tension, uncertainty, and inner conflict, a quiet awareness has been there the entire time. It's that undeniable feeling in your core, a realization that no matter how much effort you put into this relationship, it's simply not meant to last. This inner knowing is often the hardest to face because it asks for honesty. It requires you to confront what you've been resisting, the realization that staying is costing you your peace. While the chaos around you is loud and disruptive, this knowing is calm and steady. It doesn't waver because it's not based on doubt or fear. It's truth. You may have tried to push this feeling aside, rationalizing why the relationship still has potential. You might have told yourself, it's just a rough patch, or things will get better if I try harder. But this quiet certainty doesn't fade because it's not rooted in circumstances. It's rooted in alignment. The universe doesn't plant this kind of awareness in you without reason. What makes this knowing unique is that it doesn't ask you to justify or explain. It's not about blame or fault. It's about recognizing what feels right for your soul and what doesn't. The more you ignore it, the more disconnected you feel, not just from the relationship but from yourself. The choice you face now is not about them. It's about you. Will you trust this voice that has been guiding you all along? Will you let go of what feels heavy and make room for a life that feels light? These aren't easy questions, but they are necessary. Take a moment to reflect. How much longer can you carry the weight of what you already know isn't working? Your peace, your clarity, and your growth are waiting for you on the other side of this decision. The universe doesn't give you this kind of knowing to confuse you. It gives it to guide you. By now, you've seen how the universe communicates through your body, emotions, and intuition. It doesn't rely on grand gestures or dramatic events. Instead, it uses the subtleties of your own experience to guide you. Each of the 8 signs we've explored is a part of a larger message, that your peace, growth, and authenticity are worth protecting, even if it means letting go of someone you care about. Letting go is never easy. It can feel like stepping into the unknown, trading comfort for uncertainty. But holding on to relationships that drain you, confuse you, or disrupt your inner balance is far more costly. The universe doesn't send these signs to punish you. It sends them to protect you. Each signal is an invitation to choose yourself, to align your life with what nurtures you rather than what depletes you. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Think about the people who make you feel light, supported, and inspired. Then consider those who leave you questioning your worth, your direction, or your peace. This isn't about judging others. It's about recognizing what serves your well-being and what doesn't. The universe speaks through every tension in your chest, every moment of emotional exhaustion, and every pull towards something new. It's asking you to listen, to trust what you feel, and to act on the truths you've been trying to avoid. The courage to let go isn't about weakness, it's about strength. Strength to honor your intuition and prioritize your peace. As you move forward, remember this. Relationships that are truly aligned with your life will never demand that you sacrifice your authenticity. They will enhance your journey, not hinder it. The more you trust these signals, the more you'll find connections that bring balance, joy, and clarity. This is your life, and you have the right to protect your energy and choose relationships that reflect your highest self. The universe is always guiding you. It's up to you to listen. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights like this. Your journey matters, and we're here to support it every step of the way. If you found this content helpful, consider leaving a super thanks to show your appreciation and help us continue creating meaningful content. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.